friend and viewer of the show, Hero Sticks, sent in 6 knives for me to check out. Sent me a box. So grateful to you. Thank you, Hero Sticks, for sending me 6 really cool knives to check out. I'm going to start with this one. This is the Gareth Bull Miura design, and it is produced by We Knives, and this was, I believe, a drop knife. Yes, you can see that from the pivot. This was a drop knife. Now, I've featured this on the channel before, but in a carbon fiber handle. I got that through the pass around group. This one here looks like it looks like rosewood to me, like the fretboard of a guitar. But it is beautiful. It's got this sculpted titanium clip and titanium liners, anodized, that sort of bronzy gold color. This is a beautiful design, but to me, this is, I think this is a prettier design than the Shamwari, another Gareth Bull design. I guess his most lauded design. This one is a front flipper. It's got that beautiful long, swedged, hollow ground drop point blade. It looks a little bit like R.J. Martin and Bob Terzawola got it on and made a knife together. That's what this looks like to me. And I'm not suggesting that Gareth Bull was being derivative when designing this, but it has some of the spirit of those two designers in it, and I think it's really beautiful. Of course, made by We Knife. It is awesome in execution, really excellent action, fall shut action, great front flipper. I keep saying, oh, I'm not the best front flipper, but geez, it's not like an advanced skill set. So at this point, I'm getting more and more used to them. This one is feels very good, very intuitive and natural. And let's see if I can do it. This is my secret. Yeah, like if I can do it like this, yeah, that means I could, walk up to a sentry and say, hey, ¿cómo estás? And then whoosh, whip this out, like 80s adventure action movie style. Sorry. Yeah, beautiful blade, beautiful handle, very nice. Let's check out what's next. Next, my first James Brand knife. Just a cool little thing. We just talked about this one on the podcast recently, James Brand. And what I really appreciate and like about this design is sort of the simplicity of it. Now, it's got a steel body that's just a folded over piece of sheet steel here. And then they've applied 2 or 4 pads. They remind me of like the pads on a dog's foot or something, but 4 pads of grivery or glass reinforced nylon. And it's actually very comfortable. Very comfortable. This void here in the plastic material is where my middle finger sinks in from all the way from around here to the front, and it just feels like a very secure and natural grip. It's a nice, it's kind of nice. In this grip, back here it feels kind of weird, funny, and the clip starts getting in the way. But in this very particular grip with that middle finger there, this feels great. It's small. It's got this Axis style lock. I got to say that the hole there is, I guess I can get to it, but anyone with larger hands might have difficulty getting to that. Can slow roll it and get the thumb in there. But it is small. That blade is so light, and I don't know how long Hero Sticks has had this, but the action, I think it's due to the lightness of the blade. You really have to whip it in and whip it out. But so, something I really like here is the 2 rows of jimping. Also, it's a full flat ground blade. And what is it, 12C27. So that's a Sandvik, a Swedish steel. Nice knife. Nice little knife. I think this comes in around $80. Pretty stylish. Great lifestyle knife, The James Brand is a brand and that goes for a kind of a lifestyle thing. They do knives primarily, but they have a bunch of other cool hip kind of stuff. So there it is. What's up next? next up, this very cool slip joint from Boker Knives. This is called the Bad Guy sous vide. Please forgive me. I'm not sure what that means, but it's a beautiful slip joint. It's a big slip joint. Look at that, 1.5 inches. Or wait, is that 2 inches? Let's see. Yeah, about 2 inches from the peak of that clip point blade to the spine of the handle. Now this is sort of a cartoonish depiction of a Lanny's clip. It's like a big fat Lanny's clip. It is a slip joint. D2, beautiful sort of, it looks kind of hand rubbed, but I can't imagine it's hand rubbed, but a nice satin going that way, horizontal. You know, maybe I haven't seen enough hand rub knives to actually say that, but it looks very nice, I think. Not sure who this is. That's the maker's mark. I got to do research on this knife. This is D2 steel, very sharp, fully flat ground, broad. What is that, 1.5 inches? Yeah, I mean, that's a big fat blade. That's 1.5 inches from the peak of the clip to the edge, and fully flat ground. That's going to come to a pretty sharp edge. You can kind of hear it. Really nice treatment to this contoured G10. You look at it in this direction, you'll see it's contoured. Oof, I need to put on some lotion. Here it's got a faux bolster with that carving out there. I really like. And then this nice dimpling all over this section. It looks like pounded copper treatment, except in G10. And then you have this stylized skull there. Not sure if that's someone's maker's mark, Souville. I'm not sure if that's... So before I do another video on this or talk about it again, I will find out who this is. It's funny, I was doing research on this, or trying to, moments ago, and didn't find anything. And then, or very little, I should say, even on the Boker website. And then I happened to be in the restroom here at the household and picked up the old Smoky Mountain Knife Works catalog, and boom, this was the first thing I saw, like on the first page. So it's around, and it's $80, and I really like it, man. And it's got very nice spring, no what do you call it? No half stop, just open and close, but very positive open. I like the red G10 liners, perfect fit and finish right through here. Where the blade tang meets the spring, meets the G10, meets the G10, meets the G10, and the G10, if you know what I mean. All 4 layers of G10 and 2 layers of metal all come together in a super smooth interface here. Just a cool, classy knife. I really like this thing. And it's big and bad, too. I'd feel confident using this for just about anything. All right, next up, this one is pretty damn sweet. Now, this is the first exposure I have to Summit Knife Company in reality. Now, I've seen their knives and been aware of their knives, kind of followed them since they came out with their smaller knife, initially named after a mountain. I don't remember what that one was. Like I said, I'll do some research before I do videos on these. But this one, if I do videos on these, I mean, I'm not going to use them particularly. This one's almost 2 inches broad. All right, so this is from Summit Knife Company. These are, I think, a couple of climbers, or at least one climber, who has done a number of designs optimized for the climbing environment, the rock climbing environment. And I guess that environment is the side of a mountain, side of a sheer rock face. This is a large knife. Now, like I said, they've made others that were smaller, but I really dig this one for its size. Now, it's made by Fox Knives. It's called the El Capitan, which is one of my screensavers on my work computer. Just a beautiful sheer rock face out in, what is it, Yosemite? I'm not sure where it is, but it's one of those like the most difficult things to climb, and it's a grail climb for a lot of people, and very few people are successful at it, as far as I know. But here we go. So this is titanium, beautiful frame lock. I really like all the chamfering all the way around. Very wide on the G10 side, a little more shallow on the titanium side, but it all works to fit this broad-handled blade very nicely. I mean, this is so comfortable. You feel like you could work all day long with this knife. So like I mentioned, what is it? 1 3/4 broad with a full flat grind. Again, super sharp. But it also seems pretty robust. And not that that's a butt thing, not that they're usually mutually exclusive, but I mean, it comes down to a very thin edge, but it doesn't seem in any way like you couldn't use it hard. It comes really sharp. D2 Fox Knives, not a crown spine. Summit Knife Company is the main branding. Fox Knives is the secondary branding. Tommaso Rumici of Italy. That's right, Tommaso Rumici. His name comes up. Very cool clip, and then I like the way they do a filler tab, except it's circular on that side. So very, very cool knife. This is on phosphor bronze washers. Is almost a little too big for me. Like when I'm closing it, it's big. It's big, but very, very cool. I like this knife quite a bit. Also, that opening hole is very nice. All right. 2 more, and these are the sweetie pies. This one, oh, manaja. This is one that I've wanted for a long time here. This is my Synapse. This is the regular Synapse at 3.25 inches or so. And I love this knife, especially in this grip with my finger up here on the bolster and my 2 fingers in that swale there. Very comfortable. It is comfortable back here, but this is an old style clip. But this remedies that. And this is the one that I've wanted because look at the size difference. This is the Synapse XL. What a beauty. I love this tomato colored G10. It's not like your standard G10 color. It has a sort of orange to it. It looks like San Marzano tomatoes that you've just run through the blender, actually. Beautiful 4-inch blade. I mean, just gorgeous, almost 4 inches. This is, what is this, 20 CV or M3? What is this? I'm not sure what the blade steel is here. But I'm sure it's either, let's see, what is it on my... I thought this was marked. I think this is M390. Well, in any case, it's some sort of nice steel. I'm pretty sure it's M390. Titanium bolster, which I love, integral with the liner. Or it's kind of just like that's what a bolster lock is, I guess. It's like a frame lock with deeply inset material that runs to the back, I guess. When you look at it this way and you see these broad chamfers, it looks like it's contoured. It has that effect in hand. It's very comfortable in hand. This was a smart move right here on the ramp. This is my one complaint on the ergonomics of this knife, is that ramp is pretty proud. This one is knocked down a touch so that you don't feel it in your hand, but it still has adequate rise to overcome the seam of most pockets. Beautiful design. I love the Spidey flicking notch. They're just particularly there for right-handed people to do the Spidey flick notch, or a Spidey flick, and then I guess for lefties to use their thumbs. Let's see, can I do this? Not very well, but I'm not a lefty. Beautiful, beautiful knife. God, I love this thing. And I would really, really like to give my Synapse a big brother. But for now, Synapse, you'll have to do. I feel like I would carry this thing a lot. It is not weight relieved. It is a chunky monkey in terms of weight, but it's pretty awesome. Also made by Best Tech, and it has that wonderful Vero Engineering flipper tab. I know other people do that, and actually the first time I saw this was on the mods of the early Quakens, Boker Quakens, before they had the flippers. People would cut away their bolsters revealing the tang, and they would jimp the tang a little bit and then just be able to flip them out. It was a really cool mod, and I've seen a lot of knives do that since, but no one quite to the effect of Joseph Vero and Vero Engineering. I don't know if you saw that, but that almost slipped into my hand, and that would have been a disaster. All right, last but not least, this one is so cool. I want to get my hands on one so badly. This is the Something Obscene Company J-Cape. And man alive, is it built for my hand. In particular, my hand. I don't know how Hero Sticks got this, but it was obviously made for me. This ergonomics, we'll talk about the handle first. The ergonomics are outstanding. This sort of main four-finger choil and then this sort of gentle step down. Oh, God, it feels so good and so secure in hand, especially right around here, the way it broadens out here for your ring finger and pinky, and then opposing that, you know, this is the pull and then this is the push, and it's perfect. Push-pull, you always got to have push-pull in everything. Everything. Think of any story you like. Think of any painting you like. Think of any martial arts move. Think of anything. You got to have push and pull at the same time. And this, the way this handle is shaped with this jimping and that placement of that thumb ramp, the push-pull is perfect on this. Just a gorgeous knife. And then up here, I really, really dig the blade. This is a Riot made, and I should have pulled out my K2, but the blade here reminds me of my K2 from Riot. Just a, you know, you can see these gorgeous grind lines for the flat, and then the severely, deeply hollow ground. I mean, listen to this. That is the sound of a very thin and sharp edge. And that beautiful swedge. This is just a gorgeous knife. I really, really like this. Now, I admired it in pictures. I was like, oh, that's really cool. You know, having it in hand is something totally different. The thing that kind of kept me away from it was that clip. Kind of like the Chavez clip is a good excuse not to get bogged down in buying those sweet knives. Well, this clip was my good excuse not to get bogged down in buying this sweet knife. But now that I have it in hand, I gotta find it. I gotta find one on the secondary, clearly, because this thing is just so sweet. Fire anodized here on the, or heat anodized on the handle scales, and then presumably electrochemical, is that right? Anodized on the hardware. Awesome knife. All right, Hero Sticks, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate these loaners. I will check them out, cherish them, take good care of them, and never carry them. All right, take care.